homosexuality was considered a mental illness.
Yeah, it was.
Nigga, it was in the psychiatrist books.
Yeah.
Nigga, it was assessed as a nigga.
It's funny you say that because that's one of the things that I had started agreeing with Umar Johnson with when he first popped on the scene. He was talking about that.
Yeah.
That was a lot of what he was. In the very, very, very early stages in the beginning when he first popped up, he was kind of talking about that. That's what kind of attracted me to what he was talking about at the time.
So, homie, you have to. A trans person have to rewire their brain.
Yep. And
that's no different than a sociopath. Nigga, man, shit, you gotta go through not to be what your nature create. Man, what the fuck? No, man. So your mind have to does something to your mind have to flip some kind of way.
It doesn't. It never
nigga,
does.
This just the beginning.
It never
because
does.
never before, other than somebody doing.
It's a constant battle with you and yourself in your head, literally going back and forth. You're going against everything that your DNA. When you go out here and you see, like, them people know good and damn well they not that. It's a constant reminder that you aren't what you are trying to make yourself believe that you are. You're not. You never will be. And the sooner and the quicker that most people would adopt that, listen, we are going to stop telling these people that this is okay. We need to stop telling people that this is okay to be putting in these TV shows, this music, these movies, these cartoons, these family movies, Disney. The sooner, listen, I don't know if it was a real job or something, man, but I had got, I was reached out to about, content, because I'm on LinkedIn or whatever. And it was something pertaining to like Disney Plus, and I told them no. Well, it wasn't Disney Plus. It was something about Disney or whatever. And it was a really decent job that was paying probably a decent amount of money. But when I seen Disney, I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Again, man, I don't give a damn how much money. I'm not going against my morals, my values, and things like that because of I know and understand what that stands for. And I'm not willing to go down that path.
On these people, have they been able to transform like this? So, nigga, we don't have 40 years of trans people existing. Let's look down 20 years from now and watch they be the new Jeffrey Dahmers. No, nigga, these people, nigga, somebody go get Caitlyn Jenner and talk to Bruce. Somebody find the camera. What camera? That's my camera. Which one mine? Right there. Somebody find Caitlyn Jenner and let us ask Caitlyn that we can talk to Bruce. And ask Bruce how he doing in there. And watch what he say. He gonna want out this motherfucker. Give me back my dick. I promise he want his dick back. I promise Bruce want to be free. Catch me on stage. This shit is great on my comedy shows, I promise.
You know what? It's crazy because I just be thinking to myself, that gotta be a mental illness to want to chop off your stuff, bro.
It is.
It's a conditioning. It's years of conditioning. But because I promise, if they had a therapist to talk to, and the therapist wasn't supportive of the lifestyle, and it's conditioning and programming. Because you can't never say turn right and say turning right is turning left. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true.
You can't look at a frog and say that's a lizard. You can't do that in nature. So how can we? So homie. So let me just say this about school shootings, and I always say this. Can we document any one time that a black school ever had a massive? Now they may have some shootings outside the school,
right?
Or they may have one student get into it with altercation with another student. But there's never been in the history of America where somebody's went into a black school and shot it up like these schools. Not one. You know why? Because law enforcement. That school is already treated with law enforcement there. That school is already locked down as if it's a jail, and you ain't just going to walk in and do that because it's already treated like a prison.
That's interesting.
These schools are treated like schools, so they're very vulnerable.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Yeah, I always was wondering about people that
they're
like
very
to crash
vulnerable.
out.
You not finna walk to no hood school and put no 2x4s on the door. Somebody won't know, hey, what you doing here, man? Because they got somebody at every door.
For real, right.
Because they treat our schools are already prison-like schools.
That's
so nobody's
right.
going to enter into prison just like nobody's going to just enter into our schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird to me because they always go for the most vulnerable.
It's those schools that don't have a police officer. They may have a resource person, but they don't have we have cops at our school. Just the presence of a police car in front of school is going to deter school shooting in the hood.
So here's the crazy thing, right? Because I went to a predominantly white school, and even at our school, we had it was a number of. We had probably like maybe 3 or 4 police officers that I can remember that I've seen like every day on campus, and they forever patrolling around the campus.
They know some of these kids go have guns too at the school.
Yep.
So let's go deter a lot of that shit too. Cause they run to their locker.
We used to have
them nothing coming to the locker, getting them switches coming up out that bitch. So they already know.
I know they got them in their schools because we had them. We used to sneak them in through the window.
Shit.
Straight up, we used to sneak them because they had the metal detector.
But these today modern day schools, homie, are built like prison with television, cameras, no blind spot, because the school no longer wants the liability anymore.
Yeah.
Nah, homie, our schools, our inner city schools. That's why these other schools are so vulnerable, man. I feel for the families. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I feel really bad about that. That kind of got me a little bit because when they were showing all of the parents pulling up to the schools and trying to pick up their kids, and it was the first week of school.
Well, just think, homie, that act of violence is gonna sow a seed that's gonna sprout and nurture, that's gonna create some more kids to become violent, just having been exposed to that.
Yeah,
man.
Well, that's in domestic violence relationship because of the trauma. Homie, that does a lot of future harm.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, prayers up for the families. I ain't like hearing that.
Me either, man.
Because it's one thing.
The first responders, homie, the ambulance, homie, so much, man. But people don't, man. The people that gotta go clean it up, the people that gotta deal with the man, everybody's gonna be traumatized.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. I worked in a hospital, man, and I keep telling people it's like, wow, that was the worst job. Yes, working in the hospital, I was so ready to get out of there. And if I was to ever go back and do any job, that would be one of the ones that I was like, yo, bro, listen, I would rather shovel than go back to that, because that place, being in a hospital, is so heavy. And I was there for, I want to say, close to a year. Being in a hospital, it's a different ball game, man. And having to speak and talk to, people that are getting off, getting out of that the ambulance and checking people in. You got dealing with people that just lost somebody in a freaking car crash, car wreck, or seeing people that's been shot, bro. That stuff will literally, it'll mess with you. It will literally mess with you for a long time. So I definitely, my hat goes off to everybody that works in the inside of a hospital, man. Mentally, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm not saying that I can't do it. I'm just saying there are other job opportunities out here that I would much rather do, that probably pay way less, but I would take them damn jobs just like that rather than going back to a freaking hospital, dog. That's tough. The amount of trauma, like just walking into that place, it's a heavy place to be, man. Unless, well, even up there with the women that are giving birth, because you have some things that can also go wrong with that as well. But yeah, hospital, I'm good, bro. I'm good. First responders, no. They was asking me about that stuff. Now I'm good. I ain't trying to be no first responder. And even because I was actually about to get into being a firefighter at first, until I realized, these are the first people that's on the scene when it comes to, those crashes and stuff. I was like, whoa, I thought we were just putting out fires. It's like, yeah, it's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into being a firefighter, my friend. You better really check that job description. You know what I'm saying?
It's a breakout of gang violence out in Los Angeles.
Trump?
Yeah, it is.
Trump?
Like literally, it's been 10 shootings over the last 3 days or something like that over in Los Angeles, over on Figueroa and all of that. And they literally had tents over the bodies so that they could try to, I guess, investigate. And you know what's so funny about it? Check this out. So they had the police chief and they had Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, on TV. And they said, so what are you going to do? And she said, we're going to try to deploy more community prevention activists to try to